Hi everyone, Matthew here with Dr. J in Technology, and today we're going to be talking about the career path of an AWS Cloud Practitioner or Amazon Web Services Cloud Practitioner. So before we get too deep, certainly click right down below and give us your comments. Tell us what you want to hear more of or any experiences you might have working on the cloud, or maybe you want to contribute to anything else that was said here that maybe we missed. Also, be sure to click the like button and the subscribe button and the bell button so that you're alerted to any new content we have coming out that can help you throughout your journey in your IT career. And then lastly, go up to the top and download your free guide to how much can I make working in IT. And that'll give you a range from whether you're just starting out, experienced, or advanced, an idea of the various positions that exist and how much you can make within each of them. And then be sure to also down below, also click the IT Village or join our group. And that's where you'll see myself, other professionals such as yourselves, or newbies who want to get into the field and you have questions that you need answering that you don't want to ask here, but you would like to over there start making relationships. It's a great place to start. So we look forward to seeing you in that group as well. So first up, what is the AWS Cloud Practitioner? Well, this is Amazon's entry into the cloud, right? They have really grown, let's just say over the last decade plus regarding moving into the cloud. And, lots of corporate enterprise level types of companies have adopted their infrastructure. And as a cloud practitioner, it's kind of your first entry position, in my mind, into becoming a cloud professional who knows Amazon's enterprise and infrastructure, to put it quite shortly. So the cloud practitioner is somebody who's really getting to know their infrastructure, their nomenclature, just the various components that come with AWS cloud environment. So it's a great place. It's a first place in my mind to start if you're thinking about working with Amazon's specific infrastructure and just coming onto the cloud. So the career path is such that usually you might start out working in something with networking or files or servers, something of that nature, maybe before you become a cloud practitioner. Although it's certainly possible that this might be the first position that you come into. It really just depends, right? But as a cloud practitioner, you're going to be working a lot with various server types of infrastructure, the different services that come with AWS, and you'll learn that and what those are. And then from there, you can decide kind of where you want to go as a cloud practitioner in terms of jobs, which we'll discuss here a little bit later on the video. So as far as the AWS Cloud Practitioner exam is concerned, I took it about a year ago because I really wanted to kind of get to learn the AWS infrastructure, and and it was really helpful. It was very eye-opening, and I'm glad I did. So this is kind of a bit about the exam itself and training and what you might consider further. So, as far as the exam goes, you need at least 6 months of experience. I think this is Amazon does a great job of not trying to water down the certification to be just for anybody. Instead, they're really looking for people who have some level of experience in technology. So, if you're a career transitioner, maybe get one of the entry level positions that we talked about earlier, maybe working on servers or security or even help desk. And eventually, you'll start working your way towards working on the cloud environment. As far as the cost and passing score, etc., regarding the exam, it's 65 questions that need to be completed in 90 minutes. So to me, it's a relatively short exam, but you have to finish it relatively quickly and score 700 out of 1,000, or basically 70%. And the cost is about $100, right? In terms of where to go for training, my advice is to find an organization who is an AWS Academy partner, right? That's what you want to look for, AWS Academy. And that's typically going to be a university or college. I think another thing AWS does very well is they're not trying to be everything to everybody in terms of making everybody cloud practitioners. And while Amazon itself pretty much serves everybody in terms of delivery of packages, that sort of thing, in terms of people who manage their infrastructure, or you work in a company who happens to adopt AWS enterprise tools, they really want people who are experienced to a degree and have some level of training. So if you go to a college or university who's an academy partner, that would be my suggestion. And it's not that you have to take a 8-week class uh, at a university where it's for college credit. It's certainly possible you might sign up for a course that is, let's just say, a couple weeks long and goes over the various modules um, in studying for and the curriculum regarding AWS Cloud Practitioner, right? Likely, it probably will be worth some college credit. I highly recommend doing that. Uh, I would shy away from anyone who maybe kind of does a 1 week boot camp and something like this, because I don't know that you're really going to get what you need out of it. And the reality is, I'm not sure Amazon would even support something like that anyway. But that's my advice regarding where to look for training. As far as the content of AWS Cloud Practitioner, you'll be looking at things like the AWS services, the use cases, billing and pricing models, which I think is very different from a lot of the technology training that I've ever been through in the last 25 plus years. You'll also look at security concepts as well as just how cloud impacts the business in general. So I do like that they have pricing of their services and use cases throughout the training, because it makes their training very realistic. So it's not just learning technical services, bells and whistles. You're actually learning how to apply and tell the customer what it's going to cost for whatever service there is that fits their needs. So very realistic training in my mind. I really enjoyed it, and it took me several weeks to get through the training, but once I did, I began to feel comfortable with it. So that's a little bit how I studied for it, and I'll have a bit more tidbit here in a second on that. In terms of how much can you make as a cloud practitioner, well, it really just depends, again, on a lot of variables in terms of experience, etc. You heard me say for this one, they kind of do want someone who does have experience. And if you have a bachelor's degree as well, you could be making somewhere in the range of about 84,000 to 130,000 on up. These statistics come from statisticians at the Bureau of Labor Statistics in terms of the salary ranges, right? I've seen higher out there, but I think that's a good starting point in terms of what you can expect to make. So once I went through the training, I did so at a college university level, because I myself was a university professor, and I created a partnership with AWS to become an academy. I put myself as the first person to go through their training right away. And one book I found was the Certified Cloud Practitioner Study Guide, and this was separate from the actual training. You can find the link to the book down there below to purchase. I highly recommend it. It really helped me. AWS, they have practice exams as well as you go through the training, so I think it's going to be really helpful for you. Moving on to jobs. So that range of salary from lower to higher will depend on one of these types of jobs. First and foremost, something like a cloud analyst, where you're learning how to set up the original cloud environment, maybe set up some services to begin with, look at costs, that sort of thing initially. That would be a good place to start. As your skills progress, a cloud engineer or a cloud architect might be where you head next. And that's where you're learning how to now go more full blown with Amazon's enterprise services that they have beyond cost, and learning how to even integrate AWS with other parts of the company in terms of its firewall, databases, etc., that may not be AWS driven. Although AWS pretty much has a lot of these features and functionality, the reality is most middle to large companies aren't just using one type of software. They're probably using multiple types of vendors, software, hardware combinations, and that's kind of where your skills as an engineer and architect come into play, to be sure that all of it is working together and is secure. As far as other resources go, beyond the textbook I kind of mentioned to study, I have a few more down below. So certainly look at those resources, and I think it would be really helpful for you as you consider moving into the cloud environment. I know it was for me. All in all, I probably studied a good maybe 3 or 4 months from the time I started taking the training to the time I actually took the exam, and it was very helpful to do so. So again, be sure to click above and get your freebie guide in terms of how much you can make working in IT. And of course, give us a like and subscribe and click that bell button. So hopefully you've learned quite a bit about becoming a cloud practitioner, and we will see you on the next video.
As a reminder, click the like button, leave us your comments, let us know what you'd like to hear more of. Also, click the subscribe button and the bell button so that you're immediately alerted anytime a new video is published. Be sure to join our IT Village, which is the link to communicate with others within our YouTube channel over on our platform so that you can get answers to your questions. And lastly, in the upper right corner of our YouTube channel, click the free download of How Much Can I Make in IT?